My husband and I have been together for a little over a year. I've always gotten along with his family. I got along with his kids, 18 female, 15 female, and 8 male. Until recently, the 18 and 15 kind of cut us both out of their lives. We have 50-50 split with my 8-year-old male, and we have a good relationship. We thought the sudden cut of contact was odd, but thought it largely had to do with his ex-wife. I had a very close relationship with his mom, and I guess this witch hunt started a while ago, and his mom shut it down. She recently passed away, and I noticed at her funeral and following events how his siblings were acting really different to me. One of them not even acknowledging my existence when I asked how she was. I asked my husband if he noticed a change, and he said yes. We didn't really pay much attention, and we weren't going to make it an issue, until I caught wind of some pretty nasty comments his sister, 42 female, made about me, and accusing me of stealing from her mom, calling me ugly, lying about my work, pregnancy, age, etc. That she was telling his 18-year-old daughter these things, and his other kids, and his ex. So I called up father-in-law and was like, what the heck is going on? And my husband also called his brother and asked. Turns out, they have been on a massive witch hunt on me. Looking up my professional license numbers, manipulating me into divulging details about a child I gave up for adoption in high school just so they could corroborate, finding out where my mother lives in a different state, contacting my family members, ex-boyfriends, etc. And nobody came to my husband and was like, hey, what's going on with this girl? We sent them a photo of my license, and his sister insisted it had to just be a fake ID, and that I'm actually only in my early 20s. They also insist I had a secret husband who I only recently divorced. They said they found divorce papers online with my name on it, which is true. I have a second cousin with my exact same name. I was like, look her up on Facebook. It's gotten to the point where a sibling told my husband's work we were faking my pregnancy so he could get out of work. This nearly got my husband fired. We actually had to show his work proof of my pregnancy. I would like to mend things with his family and clear the air, but to be honest, I don't know how. My husband just wants to cut them all out of his life. He has 9 siblings. How do I even proceed from here? I feel so violated and stupid. All siblings are ages 29 to 48, male and female. And not one person came to my husband about concerns about me. Luckily, I've always been very honest about my life with my husband, and he never questioned. Edit. Wanted to add new details that have come to light. A cousin of his impersonated me over the phone to try and verify appointments and medical information. His sister told my husband's daughter she knows this could get the kids taken away, but I'm such a B, she doesn't care how good of a dad he is. Luckily, we have proof of these messages. It turned very, very ugly. Let father-in-law know that I don't care about the slander against me. But when you duck with the jobs, custody, etc., it's more than just hot family gossip. Clarity. We've been married for 1 year, together for 4. Edit 2. We did go to our bank and change info. The reason why they sparked their little witch hunt without going into too much detail, I was arrested and put on probation years and years ago. He has had siblings serve time for things far worse than what I was arrested for. And when my husband said, hey guys, remember when you ducked up? They shut him down and said I was different. Your husband is correct. You should cut these people out of your lives. There's no way to mend things or clear the air. They are bad people, and you should cut them off and carry on with your life as though they'd never existed. There is absolutely no percentage for you to even attempt to fix this. You made a mistake the second you started responding to this harassment as though you could just make it end by being reasonable. First and foremost, your husband needs to deal with his children and ex about the lies they've been told. This could be a teachable moment for them to understand the danger of picking and choosing information from social media. They also believed the worst of you from people talking behind your back. If necessary, they may need some family counseling to deal with the destruction his sister has wrought. The second person he needs to confront is his father, who let this go on without any kind of warning. Why would he prioritize his daughter's ravings and malicious attacks over his son's happiness? What is her stake in destroying her younger brother? The rest of his family has enabled and participated. He can just cut them out of his life. Hi guys, I am a stay-at-home mom. I have a 2-year-old toddler. I am mostly at home, and when I do go out in public, I get ready. I get dressed with like jeans, t-shirt, and some sneakers. I fix my hair as best I can. I don't always do my makeup, but I do sometimes. However, when I go around my mother-in-law, I am compelled to do my makeup and my hair and get dressed nicely, or I'll hear comments about lazy women that don't get ready and presentable. I am, however, clean. I shower my body every day. I don't wash my hair every day, but I keep it clean. My clothes are clean. But in my house, I am always in comfortable clothes, big t-shirts and leggings or pajamas. I wear my hair in a messy bun. I thought this was a normal thing, but apparently I'm lazy and dirty, according to my mother-in-law. Yesterday, her son and his wife came over. We will call her Shannon, to our mother-in-law's house, and we were there also. She came in loungewear. It's winter and we live in California, so it was cold for us. She wore an oversized sweater with some pajama pants and some Crocs. She has a 5-month-old baby, so I completely understand and did not judge her at all. But my mother-in-law started bringing up the topic about how her mother always made her get dressed up, even if they didn't go anywhere. I knew she was saying comments because Shannon came in loungewear, so I quickly came to her defense and said, I am in pajamas all day at my house. It's hard with children, especially a baby. Plus, no one is going to see me. She quickly responded, well, I would wake up 2 hours before my children and would make sure I did my makeup and got dressed. I won't even eat breakfast until I am ready. I felt bad for Shannon because then her husband said, oh yeah, Shannon don't give an F. She'll go out stinky and in her pajamas. I acted like I didn't hear anything and changed the subject. My mother-in-law still, however, kept saying things about how she saw this lady at a burger place earlier today in pajamas and her hair was a mess and how that was disgusting and she would never come out of the house like that. I felt really sad for Shannon because I know she must have made her feel terrible. I assured Shannon that I was always in loungewear at home and we were the normal ones and they were just extra. What is your opinion on my mother-in-law? Okay, mother-in-law. Next time, I will have on full makeup and formal wear. Also, mother-in-law, there will be no next time. P.S. I feel bad for your brother-in-law's wife. Her husband was a jerk with that statement. My God, imagine sacrificing 2 precious hours of sleep to do yourself up for someone who poops their pants. Thank God we modern mothers don't put that kind of unnecessary pressure on ourselves. And what a waste of my precious time. Every time she brings it up again. Side note, this happened in May of last year. I was reminded of it today when my sister-in-law sent me a note through Facebook Messenger, and she had cut-pasted my entire comment string into Messenger for posterity. So my mom she's currently in what I would call a state of cognitive decline. But for years she has been living a life that is never up to her standards, that every decision she's ever made has been the wrong one, and that it's pretty much all my sister-in-law's fault. Bear in mind that she's literally a multimillionaire, has multiple palatial houses in retirement-friendly states, and lives a life that most folks could only dream of. Despite this, she's convinced that she's one step away from the poorhouse, and that the Democrats are coming to take the rest of her money away at any moment. I literally live in fear of the day that, in the event my dad passes before my mom, she shows up at my door penniless because she's given all of my parents' life savings away so that the Democrats could be defeated in some election. Or that she's been utterly swindled, or both. Dad is able to keep her pretty much in check, and we've had several discussions about altering their trust in order to institute preventative measures. So far though, nothing has happened. I should clarify, I don't actually give a crap about my personal inheritance. My wife and I are doing fine. I just want her to be okay financially until her passing. Her showing up at my door is due to, in her mind, I'm still the golden son. But I can only imagine how this will change when my wife and I have a kid. But, despite all the luxury she lives with, her life has never been what she wanted it to be. And for every decision that she regrets, she somehow seems to find a way to make it my sister-in-law's fault. I didn't realize how much of a scapegoat she would become until the gender announcement party that my brother threw at their place. When they popped the VHS tape of the sonogram in, and the text, "It's a girl," appeared. There was much jubilation in the room. My sister-in-law, not realizing how her life was about to change, happily walked to my mom, sat down, and asked if she was happy. The response? Meh, I wanted a boy. So, for years now, Mom has been not exactly pleasant on Facebook. The 2016 election was especially terrible, so pretty much everyone has either unfollowed or unfriended her. But over the last several months, Mom has been getting mean towards my sister-in-law. She thinks that she can't see it and uses it to try to extract sympathy. But the problem is that my mom has her profile set to public. So this last Mother's Day, they were traveling to their summer home, and my mom took the time at the hotel to talk about what a crappy day it was, and that there was no card, no call, no flowers, nothing, and that her children hated her and her grandchildren hardly knew her because my sister-in-law is not allowing her to see her grandkids. I had largely ignored her, and my brother ignores her, but my sister-in-law, whether it's morbid curiosity or some other issue, tends to look at my mom's Facebook page and was genuinely distressed, especially when she saw that one of her friends said, "Sometimes you have to be blunt. I know my son is pretty henpecked too, and I wish he would have the balls to stand up to his wife." She called me and talked to me about it, and that was where I pretty much snapped. She wants to extract sympathy from Facebook. Nope, it's time for that to stop. So I went to her page, and there it was. By the time I finished reading it, I was seeing red. I considered my words carefully when responding and saying, "It truly saddens me to read things like this, especially since it really feels like you deliberately distort the truth in order to extract as much sympathy as you can from Facebook, thinking that you're posting anonymously. To set the record straight, I called you not once, but twice. You answered neither time. I left you a voicemail the first time saying, 'Happy Mother's Day,' and that I would call back later, to which was apparently either not seen or ignored. Had you delayed your departure from your summer home, I would have made it a point to bring you flowers, a card, or whatever token might have fulfilled this need you have. But I didn't get your new address until it was too late to get anything on time. It absolutely boggles the mind that you still complain about not being allowed to see your grandkids when you were given many opportunities to do so, all of which you chose to decline. It's the fact that your opportunities were never on your terms, which seems to have eaten away at you like this. And even when you did take the opportunity to do what her parents did, babysit, and were asked to do it again, you declined. You complain about the grandkids never being allowed to spend the night at your house, but you seem to leave out the part where sister-in-law, told you that a condition for their kids spending time at your house without them was a pool fence. Her parents put up a pool fence. You didn't. Hence, they went to sister-in-law's parents. Now that the kids are older, newsflash, they have lives, and busy ones at that. You were given every opportunity to go to their soccer games and every other event that is public. Every single time you decline. Then, for the not particularly nice lady that had the idea of claiming that my brother was henpecked, I said, "I too can be very blunt when something needs said. Case in point, you don't have any idea what you're talking about. Despite my mother's slandering of my sister-in-law for years, asking if Mom is okay a few weeks ago when she was posting on Facebook while dying. While Mom was busy being too weak to call an ambulance, my sister-in-law was calling everyone she could to make sure that Mom's life was saved. The only reason she didn't call 911 herself was that she didn't know the address to which she would send the ambulance. Henpecked my butt. My sister-in-law is a dang saint. She loves my family so much that she willingly endures my mother blaming her for all of her problems in life. My mother blames sister-in-law for her strained relationship with her son, for her stress and not being able to see her grandkids how she wants. I'm sure she'll blame her somehow for my responses to this message. Despite all of this, she has done nothing to deserve it. The great thing is that this status stayed up for about a day. Nobody else commented on it, but a lot of people saw it. I got a text message from her the next day saying, "Stop being mean to me on Facebook." But I had it at this point. I was tired of her playing the victim when she was being awful to people. Even though it wasn't talking to me, I was just done and responded. If you want to call it being mean, fine. But you're done getting sympathy from strangers. You talk crap about your family. You're going to get a response from me, publicly. Her response was to actually ask me why I just couldn't ignore what she says. Good Lord. Several months later, I went to a family wedding. It was actually really entertaining because of how many people walked up to me and told me that they had read it. And everyone that mentioned it talked about how it was about dang time that someone took her down a peg. Since then, Mom has gone private on her Facebook. She talked crap exactly one more time, but that status was only up for about 10 minutes because she didn't realize that I had a dummy account that had friended her and I checked it from time to time and make sure that I can post to her wall so that I can call her out if she does. How awesome of you to stand up for your sister-in-law. And I think it is important to call out crap in the same manner it's issued, publicly. And your sister-in-law is lucky to have you to defend her. Out of curiosity, does your brother defend his wife too? Oh, very much so. He doesn't really engage her on Facebook, as he despises all forms of social media. And for years, he was content to just ignore her. But he had enough of her crap late last year, coincidentally at that wedding wherein family members were giving me kudos for calling her out, where she attacked him through email about 1,000,001 things. His response was basically, "I'm officially blocking you on all ways you have to contact me. You have a D problem and are mentally unwell. I will not subject my wife, my kids, or myself to it anymore. Goodbye."